Hey guys, Matt here, and so still on the project property. It's the fourplex we've been working on. You guys remember Michael? He's been doing a lot of the work, so I think we're just going to step into this room. So you guys will notice right here, there's two different types of flooring, and so Michael's going to kind of explain for us why we have two different types of flooring and why we haven't used all the free flooring that we originally got. So hand it off to Michael.
So when we came into this originally, there was like 500 square feet of this flooring, which is what was used here. And we figured, like, because the person was renovating this unit before, why not use the material and let them incur the cost of it? That said, I'd never installed flooring before this particular room. So I started to lay this flooring and I started cursing really quickly. And usually I'm pretty patient with my work and don't encounter issues like that. But I got absolutely stressed out because it was taking so long to get these boards to be laid and it still wasn't even done well. So it ended up taking me a ridiculous period of time, like really bad number of hours to get just this room laid. And you'll notice when you get close to it, there are marks. I'm sure you can see these gaps between boards, and I'm really dissatisfied with that. But that's actually an issue of the product quality not allowing good installation. So what had happened is, first, the product itself wasn't perfectly square. So as you install these pieces, there would be gaps. And then the gap would end up carrying over to the next board more and more, and you try to average out this gap difference. And it would just create like really bad angles and weird stress and tension on the boards. And then if you try to tap them into each other, the material underneath the flooring would actually crumble. So it ended up just being absolutely brutal to work with. I thought it was all my fault. But then when we got this new material, it laid like night and day, like literally 10 times faster and with a higher rate of quality. So in the future, I'm going to kind of recommend we stick to high quality materials for a faster installation that we're all happier with.
Sweet. Thanks, Michael. And so hopefully you guys got a takeaway from that. We'll actually shoot a little bit of B-roll just showing kind of how these two floors look together. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Smash the like button.
So here's two pieces of flooring that normally would click together. You've got a male and a female end. So obviously the male here should slide into the female and they're going to kind of click and pry up together. Right? Seamless. Looks good for the first couple pieces. But the problem as you continue is that the pieces here wouldn't actually be long enough to allow leverage that would support the boards well. And so if you get little gaps that would happen, you'd have to smash these in, and this corrugate material was really breakable, which it just caused a bunch of problems. I don't know if Adam's got any.
Yeah, another big issue we found with the flooring, and this is kind of like a fundamental issue that you'll run into, I think, in most BRRRR situations. These older buildings, especially because they have multiple layers of flooring, even if you get down to the subfloor, it's not necessarily going to be level. So what we incurred was basically a multi-pitch floor where it's actually sloping down this way quite a bit. So if you lay a ball at the top of the room here, it's going to roll all the way to the doorway. And if you lay a ball in this side of the room, it's actually going to roll all the way to that side as well. So the multi-pitch put together with this kind of flimsy and cheap material really made for a bad situation over an entire floor.
Right, and the most important difference, I think, relating to what Adam's talking about with this flooring versus the other material, is that this is incredibly fixed. So if your subfloor isn't perfect, that doesn't bend and it doesn't allow for any tolerance.
Versus this piece where you can clearly add any slopes into it, so
including this direction. So having tolerances with your flooring material allows you to fix any issues fundamentally in the floor itself. Otherwise, if you're going to work with this, you better be doing either a new build or fix your subfloor perfectly. Yeah.
Something else I'd add onto this is just the point that big projects can seem really challenging, and when you get really deep into an issue or a problem, it can seem a little bit overwhelming. But then the real solution is to just attack the problem at a task level. So you can figure out big problems just by accomplishing small tasks and continuing to do that time after time. Eventually your big problem's solved. So that's my biggest tip here.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you did, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and watch that video. Thanks, guys. Bye!